Dead. Hey guys, it's your boy Daypo. Welcome back to the channel. And should I say, welcome back to our second episode where we review weapons. So this is not to recommend or not to recommend the weapon. Essentially what we're doing is we'll be going through all of the weapons and I'll essentially be giving them a score based on 4 categories. One being whether the gun is good for normals, lockdowns, forbidden, all of the above. Second, how versatile the gun it is in terms of like attachments. Third, how good the range, the fire rate, and the what's it called, and the rate of fire on the weapon is, and last but not least, the ammo itself, since it is a major component. Now, all of these 4 areas will be measured out of 10, and then they'll be amalgamated, divided by 4, and that will give us a total score. So our first weapon of the series was the AKM. And I thought I could either do it in alphabetical order or we can just jump around and review different guns. So I thought today we're just gonna go ahead and do the TO3. Now, this is perhaps the most versatile weapon, bang for buck, in the game at the moment. We'll get to that in a second. But guys, if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to hit that sub button. It would mean the absolute world to me. Once we hit 20k subscribers on YouTube, I'll be doing a special giveaway. My last giveaway, I gave away a 3090 PC. Not sure what we're going to do for the 20k sub mark, but hey, we got plenty of time to figure it out. And of course, I'm alive both on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick every single day from about 7:30 Australian Standard Time. I'm not sure what time that is in your local time, but if you do want to catch us live, do come check it out. We have a great community. Alrighty, now let's get started with today's video. So the TO3, the weapon itself has gone up in price, and there's a very good reason for that. And the reason being why, because it has got the most affordable ammo at the moment, and it has perhaps some of the best stats when it comes to this ammo too. So we look at the stats here. It's got 47 base damage, 44 pen, 19 armor damage. So what does that look like compared to its counterpart, which is the 855A1? So 47, 44, 19. 47, 44, 19. Oops. Why? Why? So we have 47, 40, 20. So it has 4 extra pen on top of the 855A1s. It does a little bit less armor damage though, so whoop-de-doo, I would go for pen over armor damage any day, anytime. And it costs, so that's, ooh, it's gone up to like 1.4 now. Wow, that inflation is in full swing at the moment. And then if we look at the DVC-12, this round is on par with M62, except it does less base damage. It's got the same pen, same armor damage. So let's just compare this to a 905, right? 44, 53, 29. 44, 50, 30, 29. So 3 more damage, 1 more pen, and about 2.5 more armor damage. So as you can see, the ammo itself is pretty cracked. Decently priced for T5 ammo. T4 used to be like 1,000, 1,100. It's gone up 1.4. Even now, I would still recommend, even at 1.4, it will drop. It'll definitely drop. It's about to reset. So it would definitely recommend. So let's just start off with the weapon itself. Do I recommend this for lockdown, forbidden, or normals? I would say this gun ticks all of the boxes. Why? Because it's got decent like fire rate, of course, among other things, but the ammo as well. So do I think this is a lockdown gun? Sure is. Do I think it's a forbidden gun? You can get away with it, yes. It's not the perfect forbidden gun. It cannot compete with the AKs and the H4s, of course, but the price range pretty much reflects on that too. So it costs half as much as a H4. Great ammo, great RPM, mid-high firing power, 53 effective range. You can even slap a thermal on this. So this is a thermal build that I run for farm. Either if I want to go loud, if I want to go silence, I go for this one here. And yeah, it delivers. It delivers. I'm surprised how good this gun is at the price range that it is. So I would give this, I would say, an 8 out of 10 when it comes to forbidden. because it doesn't compete with the H4s, therefore you cannot get a perfect 10. So we'll go for 8 out of 10 for the categories there in terms of lockdown, forbidden, or normals. So yeah, next up we need to look into the versatility of the weapon. So there's not too many attachments for this one. Reason being because it's a specialized gun, and that means certain attachments like the buttstocks, or whatever you want to call them, they will go for a lot of money. So the gun itself, let me just take the mag out. The gun itself will cost about what, 84,000. However, once you start putting attachments on this, because it's very specialized, you will start to see a lot of increase. So this will be like 50, 60k, 69,000, and that is cheap. That is fairly cheap. So then when you go on to add some flash suppressors, rails, grips are universal, right? They're pretty much for every gun, but once you start kitting this gun out, it'll go up to like 250, 260. So there, and then you're also forced to buy the big mags. So once you put a sight on it, let me put one that I don't currently have. I usually run the PK sight. You're looking like what, 187, but that's because I have the mag in storage. So realistically, it will roughly cost you about 250, 260k to kit this weapon out, but it does put the work. So where do I score it in terms of versatility and the attachments available? I would say this is like a 7 out of 10 because you're forced to buy unique attachments for this weapon. Whereas if you see guns that are like the AR platforms, they have so many attachments, so many attachments. You're not bottlenecked into buying only one buttstock. And this is the same problem the AEK suffers from, and that's why the AEK costs an absolute bomb to kit out. So as I said, 7 on the versatility scale, which is great. It's still a fairly high score. But yeah, the fact that it's not great because you are bottlenecked when it comes to the attachments themselves. Now, let's discuss the RPM, range, and rate of power. Once again, middle of the pack, not too low in terms of the RPM. 700 is not bad. I mean, yes, you have guns like the H4, which shoots 900, the AK with 800, but 700 is not bad. It's just behind the AK-12. It's behind the RPK, but this is by far the superior weapon when it comes to the RPK, and they're not in the same bullet class, so I guess there's no point really comparing the two of them. Look, I think it's an 8. It cannot be a 10 because once again, RPM limits it. The firing power mid to high is great, but the high firing power is obviously better as it impacts, damage it does to damage it does to the armor, and also which means damage overall, right? And if it cannot be maxed out in the firing power, it cannot get a perfect 10. But I think 8 is good because why? I mean, in terms of rate of fire, firing power, and range, 53 range is great. Some guns like the M4s, you gotta put extended barrels to reach like anywhere near this effective range. So given that it comes native, you don't have to put an extra barrel on it. I think that is solid. So once, just again to reiterate, that's 8 in the mode category. That's a 7 in the versatility, 8 in the gun stats in terms of firing power, rate of fire, and range. And last but not least, let's discuss the ammo. I think the ammo is a solid 9 based on price and performance. It's just great ammo. As I said, you can pick it up fairly cheap. It puts in the work. It's the cheapest T5 ammo if you're excluding the VSS, but the VSS is a piece of crap. So I think that's why this weapon is becoming more and more popular. You see it a lot in lockdowns. You see it a lot of forbidden TV stations, forbidden North Ridges. Matter of fact, I got melted in full T6 by one of these guns on North Ridge yesterday on stream. It wasn't great, but hey, it is what it is. So what is the overall score? So based on everything that we've said, I think this gun is an 8 out of 10. It is very versatile, very balanced. It's not as good as the AK-12, but it costs significantly less. The ammo costs significantly less. And it just puts in the work. It's a workhorse. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the TO3 in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit that sub button. Hope to catch you next video. Peace.